humanoids from the deep. They began in the water. They're not human, but they hunt human women. Not for killing, for mating. Why the girls?
It's my theory that these creatures are driven to mate with man now, in order to further develop their incredible evolution.
Humanoids from the deep. Anywhere you run, any place you hide, any time you stop, they will find you. Humanoids from the deep.
Welcome, boys and ghouls, to another installment of Monster Mike's Mayhem. On today's installment, I want to talk about that little quirky, weird gem of a movie, 1980s, Roger Corman's Humanoids from the Deep. In front of you is a 2024 Humanoids from the Deep action figure from Muck Time Toys. The line is called Monstars, or Monstars, and it was determined back around 07, 08. They started making these figures. You guys probably remember the Return of the Living Dead figure. That was one of the very first figures they made of the Tar Man in 08 or 09. And then like around about that time, maybe 2010, they started making Bub and Doc Tome from Day of the Dead for Monstars from Muck Time Toys back in the day. I've got every one of those action figures carded now, still to this day. They're worth a little money now. This was like 15, 16 years ago. This is part of the Monstars line. You guys can look them up. Supposedly they also made the Manion, or the Minion, as she says it in part 2 of The Gate. And they made that one and a couple other cool figures. I haven't got my hands on the Minion or the Manion from The Gate 1986 yet. Still trying to figure if I want to pull the trigger on it or not. This figure's interesting. It came out in the spring of 2024. I picked it up last year. It is really detailed. The poster artwork just looks just like the 1980 Corman Classic with the woman screaming, the seaweed net around him. There he is in all his glory. He's inside the figure case here. He is bubble packaged from 2024 last year. The brain is exposed. He's got seaweed dripping all down his arms and legs. There is the shot of the back. Monstars, humanoids from the deep. From the ocean depths, they strike to terrorize and to mate and to kill. From Muck Time Toys Monstars 2024. I picked this bad boy up around May of last year, and I've not regretted it. It's a really cool figure to my cool action figure collectibles to pick up. If you guys are big Corman fanatics or just big monster or action figure fanatics like yours truly, Monster Mike, I would suggest picking this bad boy up. I think he ran me just a little under 20 bucks last year. I got him on my doorstep pretty quickly. I ordered him directly from, I believe it was from a Muck Time Toys site, or it could have been a different site on the online, but I did get him immediately. It was not even 3 or 4 days later. He arrived on my doorstep very, very quickly. I was very pleased with the figure. I love him. I did see pictures of the Gate Minion from the 1980s classic. They did do. I remember at one point about 10 years ago, they did Bride of the Reanimator, that hand with the eyeball attached to it and it walks around. That is like a really rare piece. Only maybe a couple hundred was made a few years back. It's worth a lot of money now from Bride of the Reanimator. It's like a resin statue type thing. Part of the Monstars line from Uptime Toys. Little bit of information on the Roger Corman Classic from 1980. He had a low budget to try to make this movie, and supposedly he went and only made two full functioning costumes. The entire movie, you think you see dozens of them. It's the same costumes over and over. There's like two of them in existence to this day. They probably rotted away, but he was talking about it in an interview years ago before Corman had passed. He had said that they only used two costumes their entire movie, and they made the brains out of certain material. The brains are exposed on the back of their heads. You can see the brain pan, and they're kind of stocky, kind of weird looking creatures. They got big long arms, real long webbed fingers, almost like Crazy Black Lagoon or something, to swim in the underwater in the ocean. They come out of the ocean in California and attacked all these people. Now, it looks like Maine, but I'm not sure. I think it's supposed to be California, but that was so funny to learn that. I did not know. It looked like there were several of them, but they kept repeating the same costume on different actors and different angles. Some of the costumes weren't even completed for post-production in 1980 or 81, so they had to show the waist up or maybe the legs down or something, where they didn't have the top, or they were missing the bottom of the wetsuit to show, so they just showed the upper torso of the monster attacking the woman or something. So this was very interesting little tidbit. I think that's really cool that Amok Time is trying to restart their line of monstars. They haven't been really much going on for the last 6-7 years. I had picked up everything except the Bride of Reanimator prop from about 10 years ago. I could have kicked myself. It's kind of rare now, the resin statue of the hand with the eyeball attached. Really creepy, ghoulish looking item. But yeah, that is my 2024 Roger Corman Humanoids from the Deep figure. And again, guys, if you like these videos, please like and subscribe. And until next time, kiddies, stay tuned and get monstified.
Humanoids from the deep. They began in the water. They're not human, but they hunt human women. Not for killing, for mating. Why the girls?
It's my theory that these creatures are driven to mate with man now, in order to further develop their incredible evolution.
Humanoids from the deep. Anywhere you run, any place you hide, any time you stop